Good day, ladies and gentlemen of the SeemsGoodMagic community. My name is Dave, and I'm going to be piloting you through a Zendikar 8.4 draft today. It's been a while since I did my last video. No real reasons, just busy and sick and kind of all that other stuff, but I'm here today before the end of the format to walk you through, hopefully, a winning draft. I've been playing BFZ a lot lately, had some pretty good success on stream, so hopefully we can carry that over to the draft video. Getting fairly excited for Oath, but it's not quite here yet. Let's draft some of this. So the first card that I see when I open this pack is Stasis Snare. But let's take a look at the rest of the pack here. Veteran War Leader is, I don't think, a card that I want to be first picking. I mean, it's kind of widely said that green is the worst color, but I mean, that it's undraftable. I mean, you know, stats show that it's the worst color. I wouldn't say undraftable, but not something that I really want to pick, and it's a gold card as well. So Stasis Snares is better if you want to be in white. Other white cards are the Shadow Glider and Smite the Monstrous, but I think Stasis Snare is high above that. We've got a Channeler, which I like quite a bit as well. There's no blue cards really that I want to first pick. Merc Strider's not something I'm interested in. Stone Fury is very good, and there's an argument for Stone Fury over Stasis Snare. Sludge Crawler in black, if we want to go black. I think I like it more than Skitterskin, but we're just going to take Stasis Snare. I like white quite a bit, and hopefully we don't put anybody into white with these two picks, but we shall see. Ooh, Uggin's Insight. This is a fantastic card. I drafted it on the video that we did last time, and didn't really get to cast it all that much, and I think I sided it out in a couple of matchups. But it's just a fantastic card, and I've really come around on this quite a bit. We've got Breaker of Armies. I'm going to put my preview pane up here so that help those at home. I like Breaker of Armies quite a bit as a finisher, but I think Uggin's Insight is better, and that kind of puts us into like a blue-white archetype. Underrising's okay. Evolving Wilds is good, very good. There's no real blue cards in here that are better than Uggin's Insight, and there's no really cards in any other color except for white, I would argue. So why don't we take the Uggin's Insight and see where it takes us. Alright, along the lines of our blue-white picks, not really interested in either of these one-drops. We've got another Merc Strider, which is not terribly exciting at this point. Just rather take a Tightening Coils over that. And we've got some interesting black picks here. We've got Sludge Crawler and Skitterskin. And for red, we've got a Nettle Drone. Nettle Drone is fantastic. So the question is, do I just stay on color? Or do I hedge over into red a little bit? I think I'm going to stay on color. I really like the blue-white archetype, and there's no real indication here that white is not being passed to us yet. It's fairly early, so but Tightening Coils is pretty good here, and I don't mind playing it. This sets us up hopefully to get a lot of Awaken cards, maybe even like a Halimar Tidecaller, or something like a Dampening Pulse. Now, I love a Dampening Pulse, but I think I might be in the camp that likes it a little too much. That being said, I think the only other pick here that I'm interested in is like an Evolving Wilds, and that's not even something that we have to do. So I think I might just take the Dampening Pulse. We probably won't wheel anything of interest. Like this Grove Tender Druids might come back around, Giant Mantis, stuff like that, maybe a Silent Skimmer, but let's just pick up the Dampening Pulse and kind of be happy with the blue plan here. I really like blue in Battle for Zendikar, and I've been having quite a bit of success with it lately. So, and here, not a lot of exciting picks. I joke that Core Castigator is like a lightning strike with repeatable effects. Basically, it's essentially, you know, early in the game it can get through for 3 damage, and you know, if not, it'll generally trade up for something. Usually you can have your pick of the litter of which 2 and 3 drop you trade with this thing, so that's kind of why I joke that it's a lightning strike. Other options here, we have a Boiling Earth, which is fine, but I think I'd prefer Stasis Snare. Devastator is not an exciting finisher, but it's a finisher that sometimes we have to play. And I'm not really interested in Salvage Drone or any of these green cards, so let's take the Castigator, I think. Try to keep us on the blue-white plan. Okay. So here we're seeing Class 3 healers go around, but I think that ship has sailed at this point. Bone Splinters, I mean, again, I like Stasis Snare more than a Bone Splinters. And then there's a pretty fine blue card here, especially this late in the pack. Incubator Drone is, pretty reasonable. It blocks a lot of stuff. It's not the best. Obviously, you prefer like a Sky Spawner or something like that, but beggars can't be choosers, so let's go with that. We're kind of looking at being, blue-white control-y, hopefully flyers if we can pick some of them up. This is an interesting pack. You've got Cataract, which I think is great. Anticipate, which is, pretty good 2-drop, and then you've got another Castigator, which is probably fairly replaceable for the most part. I don't think we want these, but we've also got a Wavewing Elemental, and the fact that it's coming around this late maybe indicates that we might get one of the ones that we passed. So I think it's Cataract or Anticipate, and I think... I really don't know which is better out of these two. It's probably the Cataract. We can probably get Anticipates late, so I'm going to take that. I like it as the 18th land. It's a spell land, essentially. Wow, we've got Smite the Monstrous, Castigator, and nothing else. So this kind of leads me to believe that white is open, and then we just need to decide, do we want Smite the Monstrous or Core? I'm going to take the Core Castigator. We need some creatures. We don't really have much, and it's, we could probably get another Smite the Monstrous later, especially if this one's coming around late. We might get the one that we passed. We might get that one back. Wow. Definitely in the right colors here. This is a very late Shadow Glider. This probably indicates that there's only one other white drafter at the table, and they probably took Smite the Monstrous out of this pack. But yeah, we'll definitely be happy with this, and this sets us up for those flyers for sure. Kind of wish the Felidar Cub was in the next pack so we could pick him up too, but pretty happy with this. And there's that Wavewing Elemental, which I think is a fine finisher in a blue-white Flyers deck. So the only downside is we haven't seen any Awakened cards aside from Rush of Ice, but there's still 2 packs to get those. I don't think there's any world where I play Kite Scale Scout, so I'm just going to hack, a card that kind of does more than that somebody else would play. Not really interested in Brilliant Spectrum. Volcanic Upheaval could get us if we're going Awaken, and Altar's Reap is, kind of whatever for the most part, so. There is a world that I might play a Salvage Drone, but I think the odds of that are fairly low. I know I keep droning on and on about that card, but wow. Second to last pick, Sandstone Bridge, is fantastic. I'll play one of those for sure. Goes really well with cards like Core Castigator or like, something that I guess plays really well with Wavewing Elemental too, but something that you don't mind, like, attacking through for a bunch of damage and then holding up as a blocker on the way back. So, all in all, a decent pack for us, I think. Got a couple pieces of removal, got some control cards, some card draw, a couple of finishers, well, one finisher plus another flyer, so not too bad. Really like to open a Gideon. I've been fairly unlucky, I think, and haven't had a chance to open one yet, but we might do that one day. Wow. Super sad that I have to pass this Grip of Desolation. Given that we have double white and double blue, I don't think I can play Grip. And we didn't take any of those Evolving Wilds that were going around, so... but a close second to that, I think, is Gideon's Reproach. Kind of amazed that there's, like, just the one blue card in here, and kind of unfortunate that we opened a Canopy Vista for a rare. So this means that we're not going to get anything back out of this pack. So that's a little sad. We might get Tandem Tactics, but I doubt it. I think the white drafter probably picks up Unified Front, assuming they're playing like black-white. So, but Gideon's Reproach is fine. Just, it's no Grip of Desolation, unfortunately. Alright, and here we go. We got our Clutch of Currents. From Beyond is great. Not going to take it here. Transgress the Mind, if we had been black, that's not a bad pickup, but Demon's Grasp is okay as well. passing another Nettle Drone, passing a Cloud Manta, so we're not going to get anything. We might get this Sandstone Bridge back out of the pack, but this is fairly weak for us otherwise, so the black drafter looks like he's pretty happy, or she's pretty happy with this pack, but Clutch Occurrence is fan-freaking-tastic. Could have picked up that sunken, or could have picked up that black and drafted the Sunken Hollow here, but I think that is long gone. So options for us went to the Lithomancer Focus is fine. Oracle of Dust is pretty decent, but we have no way to get things into exile except for Stasis Snare, which is a really good combo. And then we've got Spell Shrivel. We don't have a lot of 3-drops, so I think I might just take the Spell Shrivel here. I think Oracle of Dust is fairly replaceable, so I'll just snap that up. Cool. We've got a Spell Land and Spawning Bed, but I think we just need creatures, and we have nothing really to ramp into, so I'm going to take the Cloud Manta. It's pretty good in a Blue-White Flyers deck, and again, we probably won't wheel anything out of this pack, which is unfortunate, but not even that Spawning Bed would come back around, I don't think. Wow, okay. Interesting decision point here. A lot of people are down on Ghostly Sentinel. I really like the card, to be 100% honest. And I think I like it more than Mist Intruder, but Mist Intruder is that enabler in case we don't get like a Benthic Infiltrator, but we don't have anything to process yet, so I think I'm okay just taking a Sentinel and being happy with that. That kind of sets us up for our Flyers, and now we can just get some 2s and 3s and round out our curve a bit. And we might get this in pack 3. These rares have been unimpressive, which is kind of unfortunate. Well, I mean, probably play 2 Ghostly Sentinels. I do like the card, and it attacks and blocks really well, which is what you want, so. We are pretty jammed up on our top end now. So now we're looking for, like, Sky Spawners and, you know, Fortified Ramparts and Shadow Gliders and stuff like that. Tightening Coils, that's a pretty late Tightening Coil, so I'm going to take that over Horribly Awry. It's just a fantastic card, especially if we don't have a ton of stuff on the ground. Like, our ground game is pretty minimal right now, so that improves Tightening Coils quite a bit, I think. So we're going to have to start prioritizing creatures, but we're looking pretty good. Like, Tightening Coils and Salvage Drone is like a total non-bow. We still have one pack to try to open a Gideon. Or Quarantine Field or something ridiculous like that. I said I didn't want any more top end, but I think this is our last one on the top end, and there's nothing else in the pack for us, so. Maybe we'll just get, like, back-to-back-to-back Sky Spawners and call it a deck. Living the dream. I'd even take like another Spell Shrivel or something like that too as a 3-drop. So the white drafter didn't take any of those cards. Ugh, it's kind of gross. I'd just take Tandem Tactics. I guess there's a role I could play that. It turns our Castigators into better attackers and blockers. Take the Calastra Night Watch because I think that's really tough for us to beat. And I'm not taking a Kite Sail Scout as we discussed earlier. And all this green left over, so let's just hack the best green card. The hard part about drafting green is to, like, you want to be the only green drafter at the table, I think, to have a really good deck. And you never know if you're going to be the only green drafter until about the end of pack 2, I think. Royal Mage's Trick is a great sideboard card. Well, relatively speaking, it's great. I mean, out of pick 11 possibilities, I think Royal Mage's Trick is a fine pick 11. But sometimes it comes in out of the board and can be quite the blowout. So unfortunately we're really missing those Fortified Ramparts and some more 3-drops, but I You really don't want to be firing off a tightening coils on like a sludge crawler or something like that. But if you have no fortified ramparts, you might have to. Oh, okay, so we've got Part the Water Veil, which I've never cast. I don't know if I've ever actually even opened it. I don't think I can take it. We're not control-y enough for it, and there's like Bane and Shadow Glider and Sheer Drop. I would love to play this card. Something tells me I should just take like either the Glider or the Bane and just be happy with it. And I'm not sure which one it is. I did say that our top end was pretty... We were pretty happy with our top end at this point. Alright, I should do the respectful thing. I really like Bane, but we've got double Wave Wing Elemental, so I'm going to take the Shadow Glider. Blade Whirl? Is there a world where I want Blade Whirl? Just taking Evolving Wilds for fixing. Ondu Rising. I don't think I like Ondu Rising. It's not bad. I don't think we get a Tide Color though in the next pick. That's a tough one. The Blade World's really not that great in our deck. I mean, I guess we've got a couple of allies, but most of our flyers don't need First Strike. I'm just gonna take the Evolving Wilds. That could be wrong. Well, then we kind of get punished with this. Titan's Presence doesn't do anything. Rush of Ice. Skyline Cascade. That's kind of too bad. Just take a Cascade. Alright, well, there's another Spell Shrivel, so... We said we'd play another one. I don't know if I want 3 Spell Shrivels. McKindy Patrol, I guess, is okay. It's a fine 3-drop. It's not my favorite, but I think I'd rather a creature here than another Spell Shrivel, so... I can't hold up Spell Shrivel forever. Here, I'll take a Medic. Reasonable 2-drop. That kind of didn't really get there. I mean, maybe it did. We'll see. But feels like I should have had, you know, we didn't see any Fortified Ramparts, kind of the things that make this deck really good. But we do have a bunch of flyers. We've got Gliders, and we've got Cloud Manta, Sentinels, Waving Elementals, double Spell Shrivel, Stasis Snares, not bad. So we might be okay. Alright. Here, I'm gonna... Do I want a Mist Intruder? I think we're pretty good on the 2-drop spot. I just take another Ghostly Sentinel. Yeah, I guess I'd play 3 of them. Sure, why not? And I might even play an Ondu Greathorn. There's a world where I might play that. Like maybe I play that over the McKindy Patrol just for curve purposes, but... It does block really well. I mean, attack really well. It doesn't block very well, but not for 4 mana anyway, but it blocks. It's okay. I mean, we've got a Evolving Wilds. I don't know, Greatheart's kind of annoying if you're hitting land drops. We've got a Coralum Guide. There we go. Okay, so we have options. Probably don't play this Coralum Guide. Probably play the Medic over it. Let me just cut you for now. I mean, I like it. We lock up the game early, hopefully with Tightening Coils and Spell Shrivels and Castigators and stuff like that, and then Dampening Pulse, and then just jam Ghostly Sentinels all day. I don't mind it at all. McKindy Patrol is probably better than the Greathorn, because Vigilance is, well, I guess most of our top end already has Vigilance, and the Wavewing Elementals don't block very well for their mana, so maybe Greathorn is just better. Ooh, Rush of Ice. Might bring that in onto the board. I could see a world where I have to bring in Rush of Ice. Yeah, I think this is probably the deck. Just got to figure out what to cut for our 18th land. I'll probably play all of these because, like, we don't really care about the tap lands all that much. I guess not having Spell Shrivel on 3 is pretty bad, but maybe we just play Evolving Wilds and a Bridge and don't play the Cascade. Although Cascade does save us damage. So maybe we just play all of them. Maybe we just cut the Medic. I guess it blocks Sludge Crawlers really well, but other than that, it's not doing much. Something like this. Great Horn is definitely not the 4-drop that I want, but I think it's fine. I guess the Great Horn does kind of get blocked down by Tightening Coils. Ooh, take a Dispel for the board for sure. Nothing here. What are the cards that we can't beat? Just hack a Grave Birthing, I guess. I'm not really sure between these guys. Like, I guess there's a... After Tightening Coils, like, these things probably stop attacking for the most part. It depends on what you Tightening Coils. So for flyers, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flyers. That's pretty good. Most of our creatures fly. Spell Shrivel to protect our threats and to lock down the early game, hopefully. Yeah, I can dig it. Just like a blue-white flyers control. Mana base will probably be pretty even. Maybe slightly heavier on the white, but not by much. So we'll probably do like a... actually, probably just do an even split. And then we have Evolving Wilds as another blue and white source. Double white early, so maybe we lean into like one extra white source. Maybe I should have taken that Plains. That art is probably my favorite in the set. Favorite white one in the set, anyway. But, I don't know, let's just do a quick sort by color. Yeah, so we're exactly even on mana symbols. So it probably is just, like a... What is that? 26, so 7 and 7, so that's an 8-8 split between islands and plains. One Evolving Wilds, which means so 9-9? Yeah, that's pretty good. 9 sources of each is good. And not sure what the holdup is here. Hopefully somebody didn't disconnect. There's a couple things we're missing. I mean, obviously we would have loved like a Halimar Tidecaller, but we only had the one Awaken spell anyway. We didn't really see a ton of those going around. No Coastal Discoveries or anything like that. This McKindy Patrol, if it was a Shadow Glider, I think would be a little bit better. But other than that, I think the deck is okay. Should be able to win a couple of games with it, hopefully. I have been, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but spoiled by the format lately. Went on quite the winning streak on stream for the last couple of weeks, and so when I fall and you know, lose a match or two here or there, it's not gonna lie, it's gonna hurt a little bit, but that's Magic sometimes. We've drafted some sweet decks on stream and some train wrecks, and for some reason they all seem to get there, so. For those of you who aren't following me on Twitch, I am DCivilian, DSAVILLIAN, on Twitch. And generally speaking, I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, late-ish evening in the Eastern time zone, because I'm Mountain time zone. But if you're on Twitch and you like what you see here, come on by and we'll have a lot of fun. So we've already kind of figured out our mana base and stuff, so I'm just going to do a quick curve sort here and then drop some lands in the deck, and we'll come back for round 1. But so Clutch Occurrence is usually a 5-drop and it's a creature, and then we've got Ugin's Insight, which is never cast on time. Dampening Pulse is usually a 4, and then all of these are usually, you know, Gideon's Reproach is generally like a 3 or 4. Tightening Coils is maybe a 2, put that Tightening Coils back in, and maybe a 3, probably more like a 4 because we've got double Spell Shrivel up. So this is kind of what the, like, actual curve, quote-unquote, looks like. Which is not bad. You know, we see that, you know, our 3s and 4s are going to be important, so, like, we might not get to hold up Spell Shrivel all that often. But we can kind of make that decision based on the board state and what's in our hand as we go. Or we just have to fire off things like Tightening Coils a little bit earlier because we know that we're not going to be able to hold up mana for them later. That becomes easier once we have Gideon's Reproach in hand, or Stasis Snare in hand, or have the Cataract on the table, because then we can hold up both. So again, for land, we'll just do an even split, 7-7, and call it a deck. Alright, well, we will see you back here for round 1.